Hi, it's Maisha from May's Best Picks, and today I'm going to go over all the Goodreads Choice Awards nominees and winners, and I'll tell you which ones I've already read and which ones I plan on reading, which ones I have DNF'd, and I'll post an update on January on this video to tell you which ones I have read and which ones I have enjoyed. Okay, so the first category is Best Fiction. The winner is the Sally Rooney book, obviously. And this one I don't plan on reading. In this category, I have read Dial A for Aunties and That Summer. Dial A for Aunties is about this girl who killed someone accidentally, and they have to try to hide the body. I love this book. It was so funny. I like the romance. I mean, it's about murder, but in a funny way. I love the romance. I love the family dynamics. I loved how her aunties were like, "Yep, we're going to help you hide a body." Love that part. Love the whole book. Voted for this one in this category. And the second one is That Summer. It's about this girl. It's actually a really sad book. It's about this girl who was raped uh, in high school, and this other girl who is in an abusive marriage, and they find each other and they become friends. And the books I plan on reading in this category is Once There Were Wolves, Maybe, that's a maybe, and The Guncle. I'm not going to be reading this close to okay because I have this on my to read list, but I don't think I can. And honestly, read it. Like if someone tells me the ending, then I might read it. But if I'm not gonna like go into it blind, since I know what it is about. I don't think I can honestly right now. Okay, the next category is mystery thriller. The winner is The Last Thing He Told Me, and I have read that book. Uh, it's good. I liked it. Not really a mystery or a thriller, more of a family drama kind of a book. Maybe it would have been better in fiction, maybe. But it's about this girl. No, it's about this woman who has to find her husband because her husband kind of disappeared without any warning, and she has to take her stepdaughter, who doesn't like her very much, with her on this journey to find out what happened to her husband. Uh, this I also read The Maidens. It's about this therapist who tries to solve the murders of girls on this university campus. I have also read The Push. It's about this complicated mother-daughter relationship. Uh, it's really good. I think I didn't vote for this one in this category, but I voted for this one in the debut novel category. I've also read Arsenic and Adobo. It's really fun. It's cute. Um, it's about this girl whose ex was murdered in her uh, family's restaurant, and she's the suspect, but she has to prove that she isn't, so she starts investigating his murder. Which ones have I read? I've read Wife Upstairs. It's Jane Eyre retelling. I loved it. So good. I actually voted for this one in this category. If you know what Jane Eyre is about, you'd probably like can infer what it's about. It's about this girl who marries this guy and she finds out he has a secret. Rock Paper Scissors I have read. It's about this couple who goes to an abandoned church for their holiday, and mysterious things start happening. They feel like someone's watching them. The plot twist, though, I did not see it coming. I was shocked. It's really good. Really fast paced, fun. Read it. Local Woman Missing, I have read. It's about this girl who turns up after years and says that she was kidnapped a while ago and kept in this basement. It's also from the point of view of her family's neighbor, like the girl who went missing, her family's neighbor, and hers is like chronologically going forwards, and it's from the girl's brother as well. And you find out what happened to women who went missing years ago. I have read The Survivors. It's set in the small town, and there is a storm coming. Years ago, like a long time ago, there was also a really big storm, and people died, and people went missing. And you find out what happened to some of the people and what, and you find out what happened a lot of years ago. It's a very slow burn kind of a suspense story. It's very character driven. It was good, but I don't know if I'd say it was one of the best books of the year. I've also read The Good Sisters. It's by Sally Hepworth. It's my third book by her. It's about this girl who decides to have a baby for her sister. And you find it's from her point of view, and it's also from her sister's point of view, but you read hers in you get her point of view through journal entries. It's really good. I liked it. There were a few problematic things in it, though, so I'll like warn you about it. But she writes really good domestic thrillers, and it was one of them. I read We Begin at the End. It's about this guy who forms a kind of a father-daughter relationship with this girl, and you go backwards because his friend is in jail, and you kind of read to find out what happened to him. I think it was vastly mismarketed, because I don't think I would have read this book if I had known what it was about. It was pitched as a thriller. It's not really a thriller. It's more of a contemporary, maybe. You find out what happened to someone in the past. The next book is The Plot. I really like The Plot. It's about this professor who steals the plot from one of his students after he finds out that the student is dead. Then he finds out that strange things are happening, and then he starts looking into the death of the student, and finds out that he might have been murdered, and starts investigating the death of the student. It was really good, solid read. Although it's a bit too long, and there were a few moments when I was like, "Is this really necessary?" But it was really good in my opinion, and I liked it. The next book is Not a Happy Family. It's about this couple who was killed, and all three of their children are suspects. And you find out who killed them. Slow Fire Burning by Paula Hawkins. It's actually I don't remember what's it about. Someone died on a yacht, and there are a few suspects, and you go through them, go through their motives one by one. It was very slow, like extremely slow. I usually like slow books, but I don't know why this one didn't connect with me. Completely forgot what it's about. I have also read Every Last Secret. It's about this couple who has a new neighbor, and the wife thinks that the new neighbor is trying to make moves on her husband. And you also get the neighbor's point of view, and you see what her motives are. It was really fast paced. I liked it. It was kind of convoluted though. There were a few things. I loved it though. Like, I loved it, okay, but I admit that it was a bit convoluted. Pick up at your own risk. And the last one I have read in this category is All Her Little Secrets. Oh my god, I love this book. It was so good. The mystery, the past, the present, everything, so good. It's about this lawyer who one day gets to the office and finds that her boss, who's also her lover, was murdered, and she somehow becomes a suspect, and she has to find out who actually did it. And then you also see what she did in the past. And I actually really cried. There was a very emotional part in this book. I cried so much when I read that part. I love this so much. I think this got the least amount of votes, but it also came out a few days before the Choice Awards happened, so I see why it got little votes. But in my opinion, it deserves a lot more votes than it got because it was so good. I didn't finish reading it before I had to vote though. If I had read it earlier, I definitely would have voted for this book. In this category, I haven't read The Night She Disappeared. I don't know if I plan on reading it because it's pretty long. If it's in my library, I might read it. It's not in my library yet, but when it comes, I might read it. I might not. I don't know. We shall see how long the line is for it. I actually started reading Razorblade Tears. I didn't realize how heavy it would get right off the beginning. It's like, okay, like it would start, and then you would start getting into the heavy topics, but no, like you started and it's like instantly hits you in the face with all the sad. It's really sad. I'm not gonna lie, it's really really sad. And when my hold came through from the library, I was not really in the mood for a sad book, so I returned it. So because it had a really long line, and I wanted like people who actually wanted to read it to get to it. Now that I know how heavy it is, I have placed a hold on it, and when it comes through, I'll read it. I don't plan on reading Harlem Shuffle because historical fiction is not really my thing. I also have placed a hold on Apples Never Fall, and when it comes through, I'll read it. I don't know if I plan on reading Billy Summers, honestly. I've been told it's not a mystery or a thriller, it's more of a, I don't know, life story of Billy Summers, and I don't think I'm interested in that. Might not, probably will not. The next category is Best Historical Fiction. The winner is Malibu Rising. Like, who didn't see it coming? It's I've read it. It's about this group of siblings who has a famous father. I haven't read Daisy Jones and the Six, so I don't know like about that, like who the father is and what he did. But he's not a good father and not a good husband either. He it's a I liked it, but I don't know if I would consider it the best historical fiction. In this category, I voted for The Lost Apothecary. I think that's how you say it. Okay, this book is about this girl who is kind of in a bad relationship. She's in London, and she finds these bottles that are poison bottles, and she starts looking into the history of these bottles. And from the past, in the 1700s, you get this point of view from this woman who's helping other women escape abusive relationships. It was really good. I loved it. I voted for this one. I don't think I plan on reading anything else in this category because historical fiction, not my thing. A Court of Silver Flames won the Best Fantasy. I don't plan on reading it. I'm kind of done with the series, honestly. I thought it was a trilogy. I didn't realize the story wasn't finished. I guess everything wasn't like tied up, but I don't care anymore about that series. I read it years ago. I don't plan on continuing it. And they're too big. I don't have the time to read 20-hour long books anymore, honestly. Like, I don't have the patience anymore, honestly. Whenever I see any book that's over 500 pages, I can't anymore. I don't have the mental fortitude for that. I do plan on reading Under the Whispering Door. It's pretty long too though, so maybe not now. I have read Ariadne. It's Ariadne retelling. It's not true to the mythology though. The ending is was not was what I was expecting, because I know Ariadne's story and I'm pretty sure it didn't end like that. Although there are different versions of mythology, so it might have. Actually, I don't know. The Witch's Heart. It's about the Loki's first wife and their children. The if you like know the mythologies, the Norse mythologies, you would probably find a few, half of this book pretty reductive, because it just tells the story of Loki coming and going from this realm, what's it called, this world to the Asgard, and how their babies were born and why they were so different. I mean, it doesn't explain exactly why they were so different, but you know, it explains. So it's a retelling. There was a sapphic relationship that I liked. I did not like the ending though. I wish less fantasy books would have less world saviness. That's what I'm gonna say. The next category is romance. And in this category, I have read People We Meet on Vacation. It's about Alex and Poppy, who are friends, and it goes back and forth about their friendship, and you see them falling in love, basically. I voted for The Love Hypothesis. It's so cute. It's about this grad student who fake dates a prof because her friend wants to date this guy that she dated. So cute. It's very cute. I loved it. I have read One Last Stop. It's about this girl, August, who finds that who goes on the subway and meets this girl and falls in love with this girl, but she finds out that the girl, Jane, is actually stuck in the subway, and she has been stuck since the 70s. I have read The Spanish Love Deception. I love this book too. It's about this girl who finds that her ex has a fiance, and her sister is marrying her ex's brother. So she needs a fake boyfriend to go with her to a wedding, and her arch nemesis volunteers for that. Act Your Age, Eve Brown. See, these are all great books. I was so conflicted when I was voting in this category, because I also loved Act Your Age, Eve Brown. It's about Eve, who is very flighty, so her family cuts her off, and she interviews for this job at the inn, and she meets Jacob. Jacob rejects her application, but she accidentally runs him over, so she has to volunteer to take care of the inn because she feels so guilty. The next book is the Ex Hex. In this, the main girl, puts a curse on her ex, and when he comes back to town, everything starts going wrong because of the curse she put on him. I haven't read Neon Gods, and I started it and I didn't really vibe with it, so I returned the book to the library. I'm not into Hades Persephone retellings anymore. If you had offered me this book 3 years ago, I would have loved it. But I read a lot of books with this trope, and I'm kind of over it. I haven't read 7 Days in June. I am planning on it. I don't know when though, because I've heard it's pretty emotional, and I'm not in. I have exams right now, so I can't read. I don't want to read anything that's too heavy right now, and I want to read like fluffy books that wouldn't get me as invested in them. I'll pick this up maybe during my winter vacation. I've read It Happened One Summer. It was so cute. It's kind of based on Schitt's Creek. This girl goes to this small town because her stepfather cuts her off and tells her that she has to take care of the bar her biological father used to run. And there she meets Brendan, who kind of hates her at first sight because she represents everything he doesn't like. I've read the Christina Lauren book, The Soulmate Equation. In this universe, the main guy um, discovers like invents this questionnaire type of thing where it's going to predict if someone is your soulmate, and the main girl, submits it, and she finds that she is uh, a soulmate level match with the founder of the company, but they don't really like each other's and they have to pretend date for the sake of it. I loved the heart principle. It's much heavier than the last two books though. I loved it though. It was so good. It was a story that needed to be told, I feel like. It's about this girl who has really abusive family relationships, so she's really insecure, and her violin, I think she plays violin, her violin solo went viral a few months ago and she hasn't been able to play since, and her boyfriend actually suggests that they have an open relationship, so she joins a dating site, and on the dating site she meets Kwan, and Kwan just is in remission from cancer, and they start dating. He is really supportive. It's really good. But it's not, the romance is not the main focus of the story though, but it's good. I gave it a 5 stars. I also read The Road Trip. It's about these exes who have to take a road trip together. It's bad. You find out what happened in the past, what happened, what's happening now. Not my fave. I liked her previous book better, which was what, The Switch. I liked it. It wasn't romance either. Like if you like, The Switch did not belong in the romance category in the 2020 awards. I actually like The Switch, not as a romance, just as a like normal, not romance women's fiction book. I haven't read The Charm Offensive, but I saw it's on script, so I plan on reading it. I've read Life's Too Short. It's about this girl who's taking care of her sister's baby, and her neighbor comes over to help, and they become friends, and then they become more. I've read The Second First Impressions by Sally Thorne. It's about this girl who works at a old people home, and the guy Teddy also starts working there, and they don't get along at first, but then they become friends, and then they become more. It's really cute. I liked it. The Ex talk is about these co-workers who have to pretend to be exes so they can host a radio show. It's cute, but not the best Rachel Lynn Solomon book that came out in 2021, in my opinion. I've also read While We Were Dating by Jasmine Guillory. It's about this actress who has a fling with a guy who works in publicity, and they kind of start dating, and they have to start dating for the public. Not my fave. The dating plan is about this girl who who needs a fake relationship to show her family who are hounding her for marriage, and he also needs a fake girlfriend for this other thing, and it's hate to love because he stood up for prom years ago. It's cute though. Shipped, I liked as well. It's about this girl who has to take a cruise with her arch nemesis, and she hates him at first. He doesn't really hate her though, and they're vying for the same position, so there's this competition aspect there. And the last book I read in this category is How to Fail at Flirting, which is about this girl who meets this guy at a bar, and they really hit it off and they start dating. But then she finds out that he is going to work for the university that she is a professor in. Trigger warnings for abusive relationships though, not like the current relationship, like her ex used to abuse her verbally. So books I plan on reading in this category: 7 Days in June and Charm Offensive. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop here for now because I've been talking for a while, and I'll split this into two parts. and part 2 will be uploaded next week. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe.